Hello everyone and welcome to Exclusively Comics, and we are going to be discussing the Doctor Strange Super Bowl trailer, and we're going to be discussing the theories that have been in pop culture about the leaks that have come out about this movie. And I'm going to just really get all the theories out there in this little episode, and I hope that I do it justice. And I'm just really excited about this movie that's coming out. And I want to say that what I believe that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is the biggest Marvel cinematic movie that has ever been in the MCU. It is going to be bigger than Endgame. It's going to be bigger than the Avengers, all the Avengers movies, Iron Man, everything like that. I believe that this is the MCU's version to include the other cinematic universes that was before the MCU, and to bring them into the fold, to bring the X-Men into the fold, and to really sort of set up the next phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and hitting the reset button. They're doing exactly what Marvel Comics has done over the course of over its history. You know, DC Comics, they usually have to reset their comic world. They usually have Crisis on Infinite Earth, or they have a Flashpoint movie that is fixing to come out to reset the DCEU. But here in the Marvel, it's a little bit better continuity. And I'm not saying Marvel is better than DC or DC is better than Marvel. Please don't hate me. But as far as the cinematic universe, by far the Marvel Cinematic Universe is been a better story so far. One thing that we can be assured of is coming into this trailer that there was plenty of things to talk about this week about Doctor Strange 2. That this movie is going to be completely off the hinges and insane. That it is going to give fans exactly what they desire in the MCU. I think that this is going to set up the X-Men, going to set up the Fantastic Four. It's going to feather the story of Kang, and it is going to be just a monumental movie. And I hope that each and every one of us can go to the theaters and watch this and experience this movie. I believe also that that the plot of the movie, the theme of the movie is discussed. This is probably one of the best trailers for a movie that I have seen in almost forever. That it has just been absolutely fantastic in its explanation about getting people talking, about getting fans excited about what is coming to the MCU. Because all of us want to see our favorite characters there. All of us want to see these characters, the X-Men, involved into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And especially when the acquisition of Fox, it's one of the biggest properties. And of course, at the center of the X-Men, regardless of what we think or say, that the most money-making person in the X-Men series is Wolverine. And we may not be getting Hugh Jackman Wolverine as the staple Wolverine in our Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I think that it is going to set up our Wolverine. And number two, I believe by using this movie to do this, that it is going to cause the story to be a shortcut, or that we are going to get a shortcut. We don't have to get the full version of exactly the origin stories of the X-Men or the Fantastic Four, or these different characters that we have had over the last over the last 30 years, or 30 years in cinematic history. We don't need to rehash these origin stories over and over and over again, but just bring these characters that everybody loves into the cinematic universe, and there we're going to be able to go and launch off from there. The overall theme of the entire trailer and what's going to be talked about as far as Doctor Strange is Doctor Strange did something. And immediately we can think of Spider-Man No Way Home, where he cast that spell. But it was greater plot, I believe, of what Doctor Strange did. And Comics Explained, or Geek Culture Explained, Rob has a great theory that's out there. I encourage everybody to go listen to his video about how that Dormammu, that when Doctor Strange did what he did, and I think this is great, that Dormammu, before then, he didn't have any knowledge of time, but Doctor Strange, his doing what he did gave Dormammu knowledge of time. And Dormammu, his whole purpose is to increase the scope of the dark dimension. And I think that we're going to be seeing that come into play. Number two, I believe that we are going to see, we know that the Scarlet Witch in this is going to be the main antagonist. I'm not saying the overall behind the scenes antagonist, but she's going to be, I think, the motivation. She's going to be the one that's causing all of this chaos throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe, throughout the whole movie, because she is motivated by one simple thing of trying to find her children that she created in Westview. And I think that it's going to be a continuation off of that story. Even we're going to get a alternate version of the Scarlet Witch. I think we're just going to get two. We may get more, but I'm pretty sure we're just going to get two. And at the central plot of her being able to do what she wants to do to find her children, she is going to need American Chavez. And America Chavez is the one that is one of the only people that can open portals to other universes, and that is going to be the key for the entire movie, is trying to come after her, to get her to open these different portals so she can go in them and to find what's going on. Then at the center of all of this, we're going to find that behind the scenes, that we're going to either have Dormammu, or we're going to have Chthon, which is the author of the the Darkhold. And we see in the trailer, we see a corrupted version of Sidorak, which is so awesome. I think one thing also that I noticed, and we have many different versions of Doctor Strange throughout this movie, some good, some bad, that there is, I believe, another type of magic being used, and I don't know if I've ever really seen this, that the dark magic, shadow magic, which is, I don't know if anybody is ever really into the lore and stuff. Shadow magic is the magic that deals with death, and we're going to get some of these versions of this. I hope that they do go back into the What If series, and a lot of What If series is going to be into this movie. We're supposed to be getting What If series. We're supposed to be getting a version of Captain Carter, which was a very strong character that I think they need to bring into the MCU. We are going to be getting that, and I hope that in the What If series, pertaining to the What If series, that we also get the undead version of how cool would that be? The undead version of the Scarlet Witch. We have an undead version of, as we've seen with the trailer, we have an undead version of Doctor Strange. And this is going to be really cool. We see shadow magic used by Doctor Strange. And I think that this is very important to the whole purpose of it. We noticed that in Gargantuous or Shimogorath, they can't use the term Shimogorath because it's copyrighted with the what's his name? With Conan the Barbarian in that, and they're horrible about their copyrights in that. If you had a chance to use it with, they probably didn't able to get any thing to be able to use Shimogorath in that version. I mean, so they're having to use Gargantuous, and sorry for my pronunciations on that, but anyway, Gargantuous, he is controlled by these different runes that's on him. I think that this is going to be the Scarlet Witch that's going to be able to subjugate him and use him as a weapon. And I think that that's going to be really cool. In the comics, Shimogorath controls multiple universes. But I think we're going to see, like, players playing the game, behind this. I think we're going to see people back behind the scenes. We're going to get I think at the end of this film, we're going to get a really bad guy. And I really love the theory that Rob come up with and Comics Explained about this, and Geek Culture Explained. It is really, really cool. And I think that it would be the best closing scene in the movie. We're going to really find out about different aspects in the multiverse. Just as that there's bad, there's going to be behind the scenes, the Illuminati is going to be there. We have Professor X that is going to be introduced, and he is an integral part of the X-Men, and we don't know what version of Professor X this is going to be. It is rumored that this is going to be the most powerful version of Professor X. And an interesting theory that's out there is that, as American Chavez and Doctor Strange is crashing through universes, one of them is going to be a cartoon universe. And just so happened that the X-Men, 97 X-Men, that series, the one that really I grew up on, was the best series that there was, is that story is going to be continued. And I think that what they're going to do, that at the end of that series, 97 series, Professor X went missing, and I believe, and I may be wrong, and there is art out there to back this up, concept art for the movie to back this up, that's been leaked or that's been out there, and we don't know if anything is leaked. If you don't hear it from Marvel, you don't know if it's true or not. But of that, this version of Professor X is going to be the Professor X from the 1997 animated series, which is probably the most powerful version of Professor X. This would be amazing. And I have a theory. On all of this, that this is going to be a way that Marvel Studios can bring in the X-Men into the MCU without having to rehash their origin story, without having to go back and those was very popular movies that Fox did, and those was and there was a closing, to the sort of a closing to that cinematic universe with the not talking about Dark Phoenix, that was an absolutely horrid movie, but talking about the closing of that universe with the last version of the Wolverine movie of Logan. Now, do I think that Wolverine is going to be in this movie? Yes, I do. Do I think it's going to be Hugh Jackman? Yes, I do. I believe, though, there's also going to be another Wolverine possibly in this movie, and I believe that it will be the one that is going to be from the animated 97 series. Who is that going to be that play? I do not know. These are just theories that I have, that I think Deadpool, I believe, is going to be in this movie, and I think that they're going to bring Cable into this movie. Josh Brolin did a tremendous job with Cable, and I think that they are going to bring this in. Would it be really amazing if they brought Gina Carano in, which I doubt they do? They brought Gina Carano in her character that was in Deadpool 1. That would be interesting. I tell you, with all of this, with all of these possibilities, Pandora's box is going to be open. One thing that we know, we see a version of, as I thought that beginning of it, that it was Superior Iron Man. I think that we will be getting Superior Iron Man. He may be a reveal. Don't know if Superior Iron Man is going to be a good guy or a bad guy, because remember, Superior Iron Man in the comics was a bad guy, but it would be awesome to see just one time Tom Cruise in that role of Tony Stark. And I think that would be amazing. Do I think that we're going to get a new version of, I believe that we are going to get a new version of Captain Marvel in this universe. I think that Disney has been wanting to replace Brie Larson. And Brie Larson, whether you love her, whether you hate her, whatever, she's not very popular. And I think she wants to move on to other things. And I think Marvel wants to move on to a new character. This would be better for them to replace Brie Larson with the version of Rambeau. I forget her first name. Monica Rambeau, I think, is Monica's Rambeau's mother, and I believe that would be a very good version. The wish that the lady that played in James Bond, the African American lady that played in James Bond, I can't remember her name, bring her back as the new version of Captain Marvel, and that way we have a black female Marvel, and I believe that would be great for the MCU, and that would be great for Marvel, for fans, and I think fans would just really like that. And also, I don't know if we'll get Blue Marvel in the movies, but a version of Blue Marvel would be amazing also, and I hope that we get that. There's also rumors out there that one member of the Illuminati is going to be Black Bolt. It is Anson Mount is going to play Black Bolt. It is not the same version that we got in the ABC series, thank goodness. But it is going to be, I hope they go ahead and bring in the characters. Those characters in that series was great. Black Bolt, Anson Mount is, I'm always one of his fans. He does a tremendous job, and he liked that character from all reports, and it would be great to have him in the MCU. I hope we also have, this is also a way for the Marvel Marvel to bring in an established version of Black Panther under a new actor. Like I said, the MCU is going to establish a lot of new things. This is a way, and we're going to have supposedly many versions of. We're going to have many versions of Mr. Richards, Mr. Fantastic, and John Krasinski may be playing him, but I would be more apt that we are going to see the first iteration of Reed Richards in the MCU, that in the Fox version of the old Fantastic Four. I think that's the version of the Illuminati that we are going to see. It's going to be that actor. I think that probably will be is the one thing that is happening. In essence, we can go through the different things that was seen in this trailer. It is just tremendous. I recommend each and every one of you going and reading, watching this trailer, looking at the different versions that's out there. And I want to end with this, that I think that at the end of it, that this plot needs to happen. That the Illuminati, the surviving members of the Illuminati, is the last scene that we get is the Illuminati coming together, sitting down. They hit a button, and it's Kang the Conqueror. Yeah, and that it has all been an illusion, that the entire thing of the Illuminati was an illusion, and it was not the Illuminati, but it was the Council of Kangs. I think that this would be just tremendous. That Kang is behind everything, pulling the strings and setting up everything for him conquering the multiverse. I think that Kang, that as Rob said, and that Kang is not going to overpower anybody, but he's going to manipulate other people to do his bidding and outsmart them. And this is why Kang the Conqueror is so dangerous. And we said that, and through all of this, that through a lot of the series, Loki, and these different series, that why didn't Kang stop the Scarlet Witch? Why didn't Kang do this or that? And I think that this would be a great way to establish Kang as the main bad guy for the MCU. You don't have to bring him in and make him the main villain, but I think that it would be good to let us see how, to the extent to which he's controlling everything. And I think that would be really cool. It would explain a lot, and it would bring everything back into continuity with the MCU. I don't think that we are going to be left with just a sporadic multiverse that's out there. I think that the goal is going to be that there's going to be universes that's going to be destroyed, and that it's going to be Kang that's trying to control it all, and then we can get a version, the MCU version of the Fantastic Four. We can get an MCU version of the X-Men, and some, including them. One of the post-credit scenes also, he doesn't need to be in the movie, but one of the post-credit scenes needs to be Deadpool coming into the MCU. I mean, we already know, we've already said he's been in the MCU. This is a way to bring him into the MCU. So, like I said, this movie is going to set up everything. There is going to multiple tales, and I mean, everything. I really don't think. I think everything wasn't put into context. That the shock, one of the big reveals was Professor X in this trailer, but I don't think Professor X is the biggest plot twist of this. I think that Superior Iron Man will be in this. I think Tom Cruise will be in this. I think it would also just be about it would be great, but and it could lead to other things. I mean, yes, there's going to be universes that's going to be destroyed. Even I had mentioned it. I hope they bring even Luke. I hope they even go back further. I hope, since he is still looks like $1 million, I hope and even they bring a version, not to stay in the MCU, but to just sort of a universe that they're going through. Bring Lou Ferrigno's Hulk Hogan. Bring Lou Ferrigno's Hulk into this. Bring Eric Bana's Hulk into the MCU. It's a way to tell multiple stories and to enhance the story of the MCU and to make it to where that it is great. And I want to be really clear. I think that it would be a version of it, that one universe that Doctor Strange goes through is the Star Wars universe. There's, I have, and I don't want him to pay this off, but I think that it would be amazing to link somehow both universes. That it would be, you talk about getting people talking. It would. And it would be a way to do something to link both Disney and to link the MCU, which I think would be an ultimate goal, is to link both and to eventually have a crossover. Said no, they need to be separate, but I think that it would be, they're both of the same company. Why not try to link both universes and make something that would be I want Jedi in the MCU. I want Sith in the MCU. They don't have to do something about, they don't have to do anything that is really, like including, I'm not saying including Darth Vader or anything like that, but hey, you could go through a universe and meet R2-D2. These stories were set a long, long time ago in a faraway galaxy. But I think they need to bring Star Wars up to date to where it's here and where it's now. And I think that this would be a way to do it and to link those two stories and two universes together. And this is a way of this movie to do that. And I know that people said, no, we got to keep everything separate. I don't think we do. I think we as fans need to be able to experience Jedi right along with, and Sith right along with, versions of our favorite Marvel comics. Star Wars is already in Marvel comics. Why not cross them? Why not cross the universes over and make it, some amazing storytelling? That's what excites me, is amazing storytelling. And it would be just great to be able to do that. Well, anyway, this is my thoughts and my feelings on this. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment. I'm probably wrong on all of this, all of your theories about the movies, about the about Doctor Strange, the multiverse of madness. Let's have Jedi and Sith in the MCU. Let's just do it. You know, it would bring a different dynamic to storytelling, wouldn't it? Anyway, we'll talk to you later, and you all take care. We're just doing this just to have fun. We'll talk to you later. Bye bye.